Yo guys, Beast back with some more beastly content. Today we are going to be doing a video over everything that we do currently know about Way of Winter that has been told to us currently in the Northern Tour, as well as real quickly doing the latest one that just unlocked here called The Best Audience. This is going to unlock a new picture that's going to have a new text dialogue to read. We're going to go through all of them today just to show you everything there is, just so that we can kind of talk about it a little bit. It's interesting, it's kind of just like vague, but it really does kind of tell you a lot. You can kind of figure out what's going on. And we will be checking that out in a minute. For now, we are doing this latest mission, which actually takes place in Deadsville today on the 1st. It takes place in Deadsville. And literally all it tells you to do after this is head to your territory, which was an 8-minute wait for me because we just came from our territory, so yeah. But after waiting, we were finally able to actually return to our territory. Now, the thing is, once you return to your territory, the only thing it tells you to do is do a purification. And I did a single level 1 because I thought I already did my max 40 for the week, but it turns out I haven't done any of them for this week, so I actually need to hustle up the last 40 for my phase 5, so I can get you those last like 4,000 or 5,000, whatever it is in hard mode Starcrom. But as you can see here, pretty easy. Literally was a 2-minute one. I did a level 1 just to clear through it real quickly for the video. I should have done a higher one, and honestly I almost feel like, and also, hey look, another completion. We've finished all the season goals, by the way. We've finished everything. We've done every single prime war. We've finished the season goals. The only thing we haven't done is our purifications for the week. And I thought I already did, and for some reason I haven't. So we do need to get those done, but besides that, I've pretty much done everything on this game. That's why I have been showing other games. Not that I'm recommending you play other games or anything. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to take a break from the game, I have a couple of videos for you that might help you out, give you some fun times in other games that you can probably get bored with by the time the 17th rolls around, but you know what I'm saying. But Once Human is the game of the channel, so that's what we're going to be playing on this channel here for quite a while. So don't be surprised if I make like an off video where it's like a different game. I just like to make videos, whatever. I like to make videos over. But like I said, this is about the everything we know about Way of Winter, and we're going to be getting on into that as soon as we complete this quest here. We did the territory purification. It just told us to return to her, so back to Deadsville we went, spoke to her. Super duper simple. 500 more free Starcrom. I love it. It's great. It's totally fine. This is a great way to build up to it. I'm thinking they might release new guns in the wish machine, so you might want to save up your Starcrom for new guns versus trying to worry about starring up your current ones, because the new ones may be very, very good and way better than any of the current meta guns, so you may want to just wait on for a minute. So, exterminators. So from the sounds of this, these are like giant war machines used by the people over there, and they create like a crazy environment change, it said, like a temperature change. And since they are fire, I'm thinking that they will make the freezing regions turn into melting hot regions. Hopefully that's what it is. Hopefully it's not like a super deep chill. A super deep chill would suck from an Lvls fire. If it made it a blazing hot, like desert temperature, like burning hot or something, that would be really cool. So, this right here, thermal towers. Now, it says something about how we're going to have to activate these. I'm not sure if it's, like, going to be, like, kind of like rift anchors or what, but it looks like it's in the middle of a settlement. So, from what I'm thinking is all the settlements should have one of these thermal towers within them, and then within that region of the settlement area, that'll be a warm area. You won't have to worry about being, keeping your warmth up so you don't die, because that's probably what it's probably going to be a warmth system. That's what it's going to be for surviving the freezing cold. You're going to keep warm. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I can't wait to see how they do that. It's probably going to be something to do with like fire or something. There's probably going to be some consumables. I wish I could think of like a food item that would have like any sort of hint that it would help you with temperature of your body, but I just don't think there is any. Maybe alcohol. I don't think it would help though. But Wishland Park, I've covered this before. There is an amusement park coming, but all of the rides have become alive. All of the people have mutated into zombies. It's going to be a blast, and it's in the freezing cold apparently. So that's the main thing I think about Way of Winter that's really going to be interesting, is how is this survival mechanic of the cold going to be working out? And especially due to the fact that it seems like the stronghold areas, or like the 5 areas you can go to at the different levels that are like basically shop areas, those are probably where those are going to be, but I'm wondering if maybe there's going to be more in other areas, or if we can do it through the entire map and slowly activate it to the entire map, like within teleport tower ranges or something like that. Maybe teleport towers have it as well, or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that does. Now, this is the north And I'm thinking it's just like showing another one of the town areas. Looks pretty interesting. Once again, it's interesting that it's a freezing cold environment area, and then it wants to show like fire and everything else. But I wanted to speculate a little bit about these warmth devices. I'm thinking probably in our bases we are going to be needing to build warmth devices. And at one point I wondered to myself if maybe they're going to add like a warmth meter of items generating warmth. And if that was the case, then maybe smelted furnaces could work. And I don't want to say this too early, but we're about 5 minutes into the video, so hopefully Dev's not watching here. If the warmth system transfers over to furnaces, like furnaces create warmth, if you have an incomplete smelt in your furnace, would that not allow you to just have an infinite warmth device just for like placing the price of a furnace down? I'm thinking it would, unless the devs are to patch it, or they don't let furnaces be warmth devices at all, which would be lame, because surely a furnace could be used as a warmth device. They get really hot, right? But aside from that, I do think there's probably going to be some sort of placeable thing you can do in your base. I'm wondering if maybe crops, this is the other thing I wonder, crops. I wonder if maybe crops are going to be affected by warmth, because, like, surely you can't grow crops in the freezing cold, right? So are you going to need, like, to temperature regulate crops? And is there, like, going to be a temperature system for growing crops now where you can't have the crops getting too hot, or they'll burn up and they won't grow either, but you can't let them get cold because they'll die and freeze. So it's interesting if they don't do a warm, like, this whole cold thing, it's going to have to go system-wide. And if they do it, and if they do it, it's going to be beautiful, and it'll just really show how amazing this game is. But I don't know, it'll be very interesting for me. I want to see how the crops are going to go. I'm wondering what y'all are thinking about that. Do you think the crops are going to end up getting some sort of temperature system, or maybe they just won't grow unless you have a heat device? I think I'd be okay with maybe just even the generic heat device needing to be placed down near your farm. Or I really like the idea of specific grow temperatures, and they could be different per plant too, and maybe like increase yield based upon temperature. Like, it could be like a secondary thing you need to keep. Like, there's a minimum heat temperature that everything will grow on, and then there's set ones for different plants, and maybe you can increase your yield with that. It'd be very interesting to see that. That is a suggestion I think I would make for the devs if they wanted to worry about that. But just the fact that it's going to be freezing cold environment, I think that they need to make sure the plants are going to be affected by that. But very interesting, the exterminator thing as well. I don't really know what to get out of that. I'm guessing those are going to be Prime Wars or something. Or maybe it's like not going to be called a Prime War. That'll be interesting too. I'm wondering if they're going to keep the same name throughout the different scenarios when it comes to things like Prime War and things like that. Because if you actually look in the map area, on like the filters area, there's no actual filter for Prime Wars. There's a filter that shows nothing but Prime Wars, but it claims that these are only available in PvP. So I'm wondering if maybe it's a completely different name than Prime Wars on both of them. And I think that they're still called Prime Wars on PvP servers. I'm not 100% sure, I don't play PvP, but from what I can tell, Prime Wars might be something that get different names, and if they get different names, they might have completely different mechanics from the current Prime Wars, so we might not even be doing Prime Wars in Way of Winter anymore. I mean, there's still going to be, I think they're called Stronghold Conquest, actually, in the minimap, or like on the filter screen, they're called Stronghold Conquest. But in this new Stronghold Conquest, it may not be like the current Prime War, and it'd be amazing if it wasn't. It'd be amazing if we didn't have to craft missiles in this scenario for the Prime Wars. I know they could just keep the simple generic system and be fine with it, and players wouldn't complain and everything because they've learned biomass missiles. But if they were to create some other sort of thing that you need to do to beat the bosses besides just making a bunch of biomass missiles and spamming the boss to break its shield, I mean, I think that's so played out in the game, and I think that they can make it different. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? Leave what you think down below about Way of Winter down below. Are you hyped for Way of Winter as I am? But anyways, I am out. See yas. Keep it beast mode.